running these racks up, 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter, when they come to handles, never had one.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. This is Collins on the handoff. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one good for 24 yards. And that's the first connection, the #1 overall pick in 2015, finding the #7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Andre Ellington, his first carry. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Push him back. Push him back.
3rd and long for Winston. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, out comes the Bucs free agent signee Bradley Pinion to punt. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt.
We got this.
We take a look ahead at what's to come later tonight. Sunday Night Football, it'll be the Vikings and the Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then tomorrow night, we've got the Seahawks and the Niners from Levi's Stadium. And we were in the Bay Area for the Raiders on Thursday night. Now right back out to watch the Niners on Monday night. First down, Murray. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. It almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman, and it's third down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. They sure went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on 3rd and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
Here's Bradley Pena now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
See what you got.
Now on 2nd and 13. Murray looking for White. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kevin White with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Ineligible receiver.
Well, let's see who this is on.
Offense.
So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Buccaneers, nothing.
The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they start the second half with Johnson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards, a first down. That catch is a big one. We got to note it. Ties him for number 2 all-time with Tony Gonzalez, 1,325 career receptions.
And didn't they always tell us to model our performance, model our games after the greats that came before us? Well, here's a great example of why he's at this number. Took care of himself off the field and really produced on it.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd and 9, Winston. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And that's complete. It's Allington. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Ready? Black 25.
Check me out.
Now Allington, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing, so they'll go for it on 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Winston now. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Robert Kimdichie. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now Winston. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
4th down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Arizona. 56 yards.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
I'm coming after you.
Now Winston. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Howard. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Arizona, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.